Part 1. The enchanted residence Hillcrest Manor, an elegant Victorian house nestled on the outskirts of a sleepy town, held an aura of enchantment that both intrigued and unsettled those who gazed upon it. It was a house with a storied past, having once been the residence of a reclusive artist known for his dark and mystical paintings. Rumors swirled about the strange occurrences that had transpired within its walls over the years, but most dismissed them as mere tales. Emily and Michael Turner, a young couple seeking a fresh start, moved into Hillcrest Manor with a sense of excitement and trepidation. The house had been on the market for years due to its eerie reputation, and the Turners saw it as an opportunity to create their dream home. However, the moment they stepped over the threshold, they felt an otherworldly chill, as if the house itself was greeting them with a whisper of warning. Part 2. Echoes of the Past. The first few weeks passed relatively uneventfully for the Turners. They busied themselves with renovations, painting over the gloomy colors of the previous owner's artwork and turning the mansion into a warm, inviting abode. Yet subtle oddities began to surface. Objects would inexplicably move from one place to another. Faint whispers echoed through empty hallways, and Emily sometimes caught glimpses of fleeting shadows in her peripheral vision. At night, as they lay in bed, they could hear faint, eerie melodies drifting through the corridors. Michael dismissed it as creaks and sounds typical of an old house settling, but Emily sensed a deeper, more sinister presence. Sleep eluded her, as the music seemed to grow louder and more ominous as the hours passed. Part 3. The intensifying phenomena. As days turned into weeks, the paranormal occurrences escalated. The whispers grew into audible voices, their words a cryptic jumble of half-formed sentences. Objects began moving with more force, crashing to the ground in the dead of night. Michael, ever the rational skeptic, tried to explain away the events as figments of their imagination or the result of the old house's quirks. One evening, as the couple sat down for dinner, the air suddenly grew icy, and their breath became visible. The dining room table began to shake violently, dishes clattering and shattering. Emily and Michael exchanged terrified glances, finally acknowledging that something beyond the natural realm was at play. Part 4. Confronting the unseen. Desperate for answers, Emily delved into the history of Hillcrest Manor, uncovering the tragic tale of the reclusive artist who had once called it home. The artist, Felix Darrow, had vanished under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind a legacy of eerie artwork and a trail of rumors about his obsession with the supernatural. With newfound resolve, Emily contacted a local paranormal investigator, Lydia Miller, who had a reputation for delving into the most puzzling cases. Lydia arrived at Hillcrest Manor armed with her equipment and a keen sense of curiosity. As night descended, the house seemed to come alive with an unsettling energy. Using her array of devices, Lydia attempted to communicate with whatever spirits might be lingering within the mansion's walls. Static-filled voices whispered through the radio waves, and shadowy figures danced in the corners of the room. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and a voice, distinct and chilling, echoed through the room. "Leave this place," it hissed, sending shivers down the spines of everyone present. Part 5. The Battle for Sanctuary. The activity in Hillcrest Manor grew more aggressive, as if the presence within had been awakened by Lydia's intrusion. Doors slammed shut, windows shattered, and the house seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly force. Lydia and the Turners were caught in a battle between the supernatural and the mortal, each side vying for control. Desperate to protect their home, Emily and Michael sought the guidance of a local medium, Alex Hawthorne, renowned for her ability to communicate with spirits. Alex's eyes darkened as she entered the house, her demeanor shifting from warm to somber. She claimed that the spirit of Felix Darrow was trapped, tormented by his own creations and the darkness he had invited into his life. Through Alex, the spirit's voice emerged, a haunting lamentation that spoke of regret and longing. The more they listened, the more they understood that the spirit sought resolution and release from the perpetual cycle of torment. Part 6. Unraveling the Enigma. Alex, with Lydia's assistance, initiated a seance, attempting to bridge the gap between the living and the spectral. As the candles flickered and the room grew hushed, a spectral figure materialized before them, Felix Darrow himself. His presence was a mix of sorrow and anger, his ethereal form a pale reflection of the vibrant artist he had once been. Through a mixture of whispered communications and images projected into the minds of the living, Felix's tale emerged. He had dabbled in the dark arts, believing he could tap into a wellspring of inspiration from the beyond. Instead, he had unleashed a malevolent entity that fed on his despair and eventually consumed him, leaving him trapped in a liminal space between life and death. Part 7. A Farewell and a New Beginning. Emily and Michael, moved by Felix's story, were determined to break the cycle of suffering that had plagued Hillcrest Manor for decades. Guided by Alex and Lydia, they devised a ritual to cleanse the house of the malevolent presence. As candles flickered and incense wafted through the air, they chanted words of forgiveness and release. In a climactic surge of energy, the atmosphere shifted. Shadows receded, and a sense of peace settled over the mansion. Felix's spirit dissipated, leaving behind a feeling of closure that resonated through every inch of the house. As dawn broke, Hillcrest Manor stood transformed. The air was clear, and the weight of the past seemed to have lifted. Emily and Michael shared a newfound sense of connection, having battled the forces beyond imagination together. The experience had brought them closer and reaffirmed their love. Though the scars of the haunting remained, they were now reminders of their strength and resilience. Hillcrest Manor, once a dwelling of darkness, had been reclaimed as a haven of light. And as Emily and Michael looked out from their refurbished home, they knew that they had not only saved a house, but also set restless spirits free. Epilogue. Echoes in the wind years passed, and the tale of Hillcrest Manor's haunting became a local legend, whispered around campfires and shared among curious townsfolk. The Turners moved on but left behind a legacy of courage and redemption, inspiring others to confront their fears and unravel the mysteries of the unknown. Hillcrest Manor stood as a silent witness to their journey, its halls filled with echoes of laughter and love. The spirits of the past had finally found peace, and their stories had become woven into the tapestry of the house's history. And as night fell and the wind rustled through the trees, the echoes of the past whispered softly, a reminder that some mysteries were never meant to be forgotten.